Good morning, classmates. Today we'll continue our discussion on what can we still do with the data about pretest and posttest. So recall that the first thing we've done is discuss the descriptive statistics regarding the pretest and posttest. So to continue, what can still be done is that we need to perform hypothesis testing. We need to identify whether is there a significant increase in the post-test scores of the students after the intervention. So we can assume that there is a increase or there is a decrease in the post-test scores. So those are just assumptions, and what we can do is perform hypothesis testing. So in this kind of test, what we will be doing is test whether a certain intervention have helped increase the students' post-test scores. So using match pair t-test or dependent t-test, we will determine whether is there really a significant increase or significant difference in the pretest and post-test scores of the students. But using this one, we need to make sure that the different assumptions was satisfied. Specifically, the normality of the pretest and post-test difference. So here, in testing the normality of the pretest and post-test difference, our hypothesis is that the data is normal versus the null. The alternative, the data is not normal. So if the p-value is greater than 0.05, meaning to say the data is normal. In this case, we see that the difference of pretest and posttest is normal, thus we can continue using paired t-test. Otherwise, you need to use the alternative for non-parametric test, which is the side rank test. Okay, so as you can see also in the graph, so the backsplat, histogram, and the test for normality using some online calculator. See the link, guys, as reference for you to be able to determine whether your data is normal. Yeah, that's the link for you to test the normality of a data. So let's go. So for you to analyze whether there is a difference or significant increase in the pretest and posttest of the data, you can use the add-ins in Excel. So in that specific add-ins, so technically by default, Excel does not have this add-in. All you need to do is check that specific tool in the file option, the options add-ins, and you can explore the different statistics, this basic statistical tool such as this one, paired t-test. So here is the result of the paired t-test. What I will be doing is transpose the data and include only those significant values that I'll be needing for the test. So considering that our assumption, our research question is there a significant increase? So in testing for hypothesis, we need to consider the direction of the test. There are two types of directions, directional and non-directional. So when will you use directional? So if your questions follows or use phrase or words such as increase or decrease. So if it's increase, use right tail test. If it's decrease, use left tail test. And then if there is no difference, use two tail test. So those are the distinction for you to identify whether there is what specific tail are you going to use. So hopefully, and then by that one, identify whether there is what's your decision rule. So if the p-value is greater than alpha, so don't reject HO. If the p-value is less than 0.05, so reject HO. Thank you so much.